Hi, my name's Mitch Myers, and I graduated from Oklahoma State University with a Bachelor's of Science in Industrial Engineering in 1995, and then got a Master's in Business Administration in 1999. I was born in Owasso, Oklahoma. That's where I was born and where I grew up. I was born to my parents, Jerry and Sherry Myers. My dad's pretty amazing. He started with very humble beginnings and ended up as the #2 guy at One Oak. And my mom, Sherry Myers, started as a secretary, administrative person, worked at the school that I went to, the elementary school I went to, and then as an administrator in a doctor's office as I was going through, helping put me through college. My wife, Christy, she grew up in a suburb of Tulsa as well, Glenpool. She and I met later in life. My first wife had passed away in 2010 after I had recovered from that. Christy and I met. She already had 2 children, so I got a couple of bonus children. My first wife, my late wife, and I had 2 children previously. She and I met in 2010, got married in 2016. My children going from youngest to oldest, so I have a 20-year-old junior at Oklahoma State who's currently studying marketing. Her name is Kennedy. And then I have my next daughter, which is my biological daughter, is Brooke Taylor Myers. And Brooke got a big scholarship to go to American University in Washington, D.C., and she graduated in 3 years, and her intent is to go back to law school. My next child is a son, Sutton, and he was named after Eddie Sutton. He is studying heat and air at Oklahoma State University in Okmulgee and should graduate in December. My oldest son, which is a bonus child, is named Blaine Howell, and Blaine graduated from Oklahoma State University with a construction engineering degree. He's currently working and running one of the businesses that I own. As I researched industrial engineering both at OSU and at Oklahoma University, I found that OSU's program was ranked in the top 10 BSIE schools in the country. It had a rich history. I just wanted to go somewhere where I felt like I would get the best education for what I was studying, and OSU fit the bill. I met my best friend from college here, Chad Fry. We became roommates together. We had a very tight-knit group of people in the industrial engineering program that kind of were lockstep and went through, and we studied together, we partied together. The tools I was afforded and armed with to make a way in my career, there's no doubt that just the pure STEM education that I received gave me opportunities that I couldn't imagine at the time. Very blessed, very grateful for the people who've poured into me, and it's part of the reason why I work hard every day to pour back into others is because I was so blessed that those who came before me poured into me. So a little bit about my career. I graduated from Oklahoma State with that Bachelor's in Science of Industrial Engineering and immediately went to work as a summer intern for a manufacturing company, Frank W. Murphy Manufacturing. That organization asked me to help them implement a new software system that they were implementing across their entire organization. And they said, you know computers and you've got time, so why don't you learn how the software works and then go help our managers implement it throughout the organization. And from that experience, I was able to learn every facet of the organization, everything from accounting and finance, fixed assets, general ledger, to sales and marketing, to the manufacturing and material planning group. Basically everything inside the organization, I learned how the business process worked, and I made the software and the business work together to implement the software. And so I was given an opportunity early to be in a management role. By the time I was 29, I had been promoted to be Vice President of Operations, which was responsible for about 75% of the employees in the company and the operations inside the organization. And one day I got a phone call from the guy that owned the company and said, hey, do you have a passport? We're going to China. And I was like, okay, when? He said, next week. A week later, I'm on a plane to China. And while we're on our way there, and after we land, he said, my vision is that I want to open a facility in China. So we're going to go visit some various cities in China and see and talk to the government officials and see how that might work. Early 30-year-old guy, me, is sitting in this room with all these Chinese officials trying to figure out how do you open a facility in China. And so it was a big learning experience, drinking by the fire hose for sure. But at the end of that 2.5-week process, we'd selected a location in a town called Hangzhou. There's all kinds of things you learn when you're thrust into a situation like that. So yeah, I'm proud of the activity and the exposure. It was invaluable. At the time, I hated it. It was scary, and I didn't want to be outside the United States eating food I didn't recognize and trying to speak a language of which I didn't recognize. But in retrospect, it was one of the most valuable experiences I had. One day I got a phone call from him, this is 2007, from the guy that owned the company, and he said, "Will you meet me for lunch?" And I said, "Sure." And he sat across the table from me and he said, "I think I'm going to sell the company, and most of the company reports to you, and it'll be better if it doesn't report to you when I go to sell it. So you need to pick one of the areas you like, and you're going to manage that area, but the rest of them I'm going to split up." Well, it's a body blow to me because I felt like this was a demotion. And here I was 13 years into working at F.W. Murphy thinking that I would finish my career there and I would probably run the company for the owner at some point, finding out that I had been limited where I could go. So I had to do some soul searching. Am I going to stay or am I going to do something different? And so through that journey, I determined that at 36 at the time, if there's ever a time to start your own business or to buy a business, this is the time. So I started looking for a business to buy, and I found this company, Thermal Specialties. The owner had been trying to find a way to exit. He didn't want to sell it to a big company and get it chopped up. He wanted to sell it to a private individual so it could live on. And so he and I struck a deal, and he loaned me $10 million, and I bought this business. I started the process of buying that company in 2008. We went through a big recession in 2009, so we didn't close on that deal. And then my first wife passed away in 2010. I didn't buy the company officially until 2011, but now I've owned it for a little over 13 years. The company's successful. We've gone from, when I bought it, there were 3 businesses. We currently operate 9 different companies. The journey has been unpredictable. It's been a good experience, and it's taught me a lot. I'm proud of the organization we've built to date. I don't know what it looks like over the next 10 years, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it develops. So I am super passionate about education for everyone. Becoming more educated every day in whatever that subject matter is so critically important to you being successful, to your kids being successful, to your family members and your friends being successful. Strong believer in STEM education and that our kids need to be studying more STEM. Probably the most important award I've ever received is the one I'm receiving right now, is that recognition by my alma mater, where the color of my blood is orange running through my veins, is telling me and acknowledging me and saying, "You've done well, sir, and we're proud of you," in an area as technical as engineering is humbling to me, and I am proud of that. And this particular award it makes me feel good that I've at least accomplished some things in support of the school and the university that people say, "Mitch, you've done a good job, and we value you and what you've given to the school and into the university. You're one of us." OSU means a lot to me, and that's why I commit so much of my time to helping students, helping the faculty, helping the university grow, and I will be forever grateful. Go Pokes!